Cybernation Uncensored.
Hello, everybody. My name is OckRaven, and I'd like to thank you all for our session 0 of running the night, a Cyberpunk Red campaign. Sorry for the technical delays, everybody, but we are very happy to finally be here with you all. My name is OckRaven. I'd like to go around the room here real quick and allow an opportunity for all of our players to introduce themselves. All of you guys, roll me a d10. Let's see who goes first.
First roll of the night.
Just a d10.
Okay.
I don't.
Roll the campaign. Ish.
Does it explode? Does my Sendevis thing count?
Nope, it does not. Sorry about that, guys.
Well, I just got a 6.
So, well, you're appearing as the highest so far. I am missing one person's number, though.
Oh, yeah, I rolled physical die.
Ah, yes.
I hoard them.
Okay. Well, I too hoard the physical dice, but I have bad news for you. If it's not in roll 20, it doesn't count. So, can you roll and roll 20 for me, please?
Once I figure out how to roll things.
Okay, yeah. Left side, there's
Pretty
a little
easy.
dice thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do it. I did, and I rolled a 3.
Awesome. Highest to lowest. Vertec, please start. Introduce yourself. Say hi to our wonderful cast.
Hello, everybody. I am. That's a good question. Who am I? Sorry, this is my
central crisis.
Who am I really? This is just my first time on any of the Cybernation Uncensored streams, but my name is Catapult Crash Tester. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Catapult Crash Words. Twitch.tv/Catapult Crash Tester. And yes, I do struggle with the English language, despite it being the only one I speak. So we can expect a few more slips of the tongue in the future. They are generally hilarious, so keep an eye out for that.
That's good.
I will be playing Vertex in this session here, the Team MedTech. My goal in life is to bust some heads and steal some kidneys. We're gonna have a good time. And yeah, that's about all there is to say about me. So whoever's next, take it away.
Ashlyn, please.
Oh, me?
You and Nick both got a 3, so.
Oh, wow. We're just low today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or a 2.
I was sitting
The
back,
low
like,
roll out of the way.
waiting. I was like, I rolled a 3. I didn't pay attention to anybody else's. Well, hi, guys. I'm Ashlyn. I'm the Dollar Store DM primarily on Instagram, where I do a bunch of budget builds. I run a bi-weekly Instagram live show where I bring creators from across the globe to build cool terrain pieces with me using only Dollar Store materials in under an hour. It's chaotic. It's super fun.
I'm gonna have to check out your channel. That sounds awesome.
It's super fun.
It really is.
I also am an amateur dice maker. I just have the ability to pick a singular hobby. So I just follow. If you're looking for me as a DM or a player on any other sort of platform, I am the DM for Roleplay Inc., a new actual play podcast in my homebrew pirate world. That just released this past Wednesday. We have already over 100 downloads, which is amazing for our first episode. Go ahead and check that out. I also am a player now on Blue Box RPG. I will be playing a character that will get revealed this Tuesday on our session 0 for box 3 of their Greyhawk Awakening campaign that's set in the Dark Sun sort of setting, and I am so excited.
Wonderful. Nick?
My name's Nick, and I just like to throw dice and play Cyberpunk games. I'm here to have some fun and explore the world that I've really been enjoying. Um, I came to the game first through the 2077 game and through the Edgerunners anime. I played very briefly when I was young ttrpgs or Dungeons and Dragons, I guess, and I just really poured myself into it over the last few months, mostly into Cyberpunk. It's Cyberpunk Red. So I've been having a lot of fun. You'll see me on Eddies and Elflines as well, another Cybernation Uncensored stream that happens on Thursdays. I play Ezra in that. That's hosted by GM Diamond Dust. That's a fun one. It explores the Elflines world of Cyberpunk, which is like an MMORPG. Yeah, but we've been planning this for a while, or Raven's been planning this for a while. He's got a lot of good ideas. I think I'm so excited to get started. That's all I can say. So I just wanted to say before we do get started, though, thanks to everyone who's here in the chat, and thanks to everyone who checks us out in the future. We'll be interacting with the chat, and we often, sometimes call out to the chat if something happens or whatever. But I just want you to know that we also appreciate those that can't join us live and join us later. So thanks, everyone.
100%.
We'll go Jalen and then Ty.
Hello, everybody. My name's Jalen. In real life, I'm an EMT. Also, I GM just, my home games, have a lot of fun playing Dungeons and Dragons, Cyberpunk Red, Delta Green is something we've been playing recently. That's a lot of fun. I haven't streamed much before, so this is definitely my first time like officially streaming. But there are some recordings of my Delta Green game on YouTube. Anyone wants to check them out and just see what a real amateur home game looks like, not low production value and all that. You can check me out at Jalen Salen. And I'm just want to echo that I'm also super excited to play and just get into it. It seems like we're gonna have a blast.
Yeah.
Well, looks like we're having a little technical issues. Parts of our video froze. See if we can fix that real quick.
Oh,
Please continue.
It's always fun when that happens.
Always something.
Always
something.
Attractive when it
Hey,
happens.
that's why this is session 0. We get all these out of the way.
Yeah,
We
it always
have new
happens when it
problems
gets
for
to me.
next
It's not my
time.
fault, I promise. Yeah.
only catapult is moving. Oh, yeah, for some reason. Oh, here I am. We got 3 out of. We got 4, 5.
Ooh, ooh.
Bob and
Sorry about
Weave,
that, everyone. Thanks.
And the GM is back.
Thanks for the catch on that, buddy.
Alright.
Sorry about that.
All good.
And then last, but not least for sure,
Not
right?
least, definitely not least.
All right, wonderful. My name is David, or also known as Ty online, from a very, very old gamer tag at this point, as I'm sure many of us are, familiar with that experience. It's a pleasure to finally be here and be doing this. I am a professional DM and game designer working with TTRPGs and video games, generally. I work over at Stormbreaker Games, so just search that up. Come find me there anytime. Outside of that, I'm a keen snowboarder, writer, and I'm a trainee expedition leader. Again, somebody that just can't pin down hobbies, but I just love being outdoors.
I think
Which
that's
is-
kind of common in the nerd world, right?
I think that's fair.
That's
yeah,
true.
Yeah.
Dopamine.
Oh yeah.
And
Not to
me.
mention that role-playing games are kind of a gateway hobby to like a dozen more hobbies.
Oh yeah.
is that all you got, David?
And it was. I can do more. Is that not enough?
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm just
feel
making
those-
sure. I don't want to,
David? God.
God,
I know, right?
What else have I got? No, that's me. I can't.
Oh,
I
I've
can't
got
give you
one more
anything else,
thing.
I'm afraid.
If we can circle back to me for a second,
Go right ahead.
that directly has to do with Cyberpunk Red. I'm a developer for the Cyberpunk Red system on the Foundry virtual tabletop. Obviously, we'll be using Roll20 for now, but if anyone has Foundry or plays Foundry, plays Cyberpunk Red on Foundry, yeah, I'm one of the guys, and always come check us out.
I use it all the time, and I am such a fan. So I'm going to probably pick your brains after this as well,
Oh,
because
please
I
do.
am
Please
a
do.
huge fan of it. It runs so brilliantly. I love it.
Lovely.
Last but not least, my name is GM OckRaven. I will be our storyteller, dungeon master, game master, ref, as the appropriate term is in Cyberpunk, but mainly I'm going to be your global operations director for this campaign. My pronouns are whatever you're most comfortable with. Just call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. Um, I don't really have much about myself to plug other than you can always, I will post things at my Instagram at GM at OckRaven Gaming. Other than that, I think it's been long enough. Let's get into today's to-do list. First and
Sounds
foremost,
good to me.
We need to get your guys' character squared away.
Yes.
Let's talk actually some world stuff, veils, hardlines, and limiters. And then we can go through everyone's character list, kind of make sure everyone's got everything done they need. We can talk world setting and IP. If there's any time left after that, we'll see what we can get done from there. Does that sound like a good plan with everybody?
Sounds great.
Sounds like a
Sounds
good plan
great.
to me.
Fantastic. As in traditional fashion, as I previously stated, go ahead, everybody, roll me a d10 again.
Oh wow.
Little roll 20 trick. If you just hit the up button, the up key rather on the arrow
Give me
keys,
my
it'll
first 10.
give you the last thing that you typed.
Oh,
Oh,
that
yeah,
Close.
you're like the best. Like you're already. Wow.
I can't believe how well I've been rolling today.
All right, and we will
Hey.
go from highest to lowest. If there's any hard lines and veils that you have that you would like to, set forth in the campaign, the limiters and things like that, please let me know now.
Mm.
I don't have any, other than tasteful discretion in terms of things. So please tell me where the stopping point is going to be.
Fair enough.
So we got two people tied at 9 here, right?
Yeah, who you want to go first?
Alphabetical, just the way I've been treating it.
So, Jalen, you're up.
All right. Yeah. There's nothing major. I mean, there's nothing, that I can't really handle per se. I think just kind of like the general rules, sexual assault, stuff like that is not super fun for me to play out. But it's a dark game, so most other things tend to be fine, and there's nothing that crops up right now, but I promise that if something does crop up, that I'm not gonna stay silent about it, that we can talk about it in the
Yeah.
future and reevaluate, or at least that's how I feel. So
Okay.
um
Now, in terms of what you just said, okay, I'd like to ask a question if I may.
please.
It's a dark future. Sexual assault are things that will happen. If it's one of those like you're dealing with a person or somebody wants revenge, this has happened to them and they want to either get back or make the person pay. That's not something that's not going to be crossing this line, is that?
Correct.
Okay.
It
Well,
won't be crossing that line.
okay. Doing something with somebody and going into a bathroom and he decides to just, unfortunately, assault some woman. That, and going into detail, that's obviously crossing the line there.
Correct. Yeah, that's more what I mean. Obviously the the theme and the it can come up. Like I'm not I'm not afraid of it coming up. I'm more just like it being very explicit and like
That's fine.
yeah.
Anything else that you would like to about your hardline and
For me,
veils?
that's it really.
Okay. Thank you. I have that written down. Next is Vertec.
Vertex.
That would be me, yes. So, for hard lines, as Jalen was saying, I don't really have a lot going. There is one thing that has come up in past role plays before. It's been a bit of a touchy subject for me, and that would be domestic abuse. It's like somebody abusing their partner or their kids. That is that's kind of an bleh. Yeah, that's
That's a hard line for
something
you.
I'd have to. That's a hard line for me. Yeah, that's something I can't
That's
really.
that's not veil. That's we are past the point of that's a very uncomfortable subject. I'm with you.
Yeah, thanks. It's just I have personal reasons for that.
Okay.
That I would rather not go into on the internet
Please
because
don't. No. I
Fair
for
enough.
anything that we're discussing here, I don't need reasons. If you feel like you need to give me reasons, we can take that offline by any means. Your privacy, safety, and just you being comfortable doing this is my top concern, and that's why we're having this conversation. So don't push yourself,
and
please.
I appreciate it. I like that this is a conversation that's being had. This is one of the reasons that I like Cybernation Uncensored so much. We have these these frank discussions of what we are willing to and not willing to have in our games, and thank you for that. That's very good.
Awesome.
I
Okay.
think that's
Next.
me. So whoever's next, take it away.
I think that's me. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's whoever rolled a 5.
That would be Ty.
That might be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've no, I kind of just agree with what's been said so far. Really, the only one for me is sexual violence of any kind. But in the same way, is that just nothing, explicit or too in depth. No crazy descriptions or whatever. Other than that, I'm pretty easygoing. I tend to, especially in character, swear quite a lot. So I hope that's okay with everyone, and I apologize in advance to anyone that's sensitive to it. But other than that, yeah, just have a good time.
I grew up with a trucker, so I swear like a sailor.
I swear like a Brit. So I'm playing a sailor, so sort of. But yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo what everybody else has said. For me, it's very much a like fade to black on explicit sort of things. It can be a aspect of the story, but when it's presented as like let's interact with that sort of interaction, it gets icky. Yeah, my big thing is just continual checking in, especially if we do encounter anything that's like that was really dark. Let's make sure everybody's okay.
No, I
Either
actually
offline or online. It doesn't need to be live, but
no, I do completely agree with that. So in questions of like, I do not want to role play sex scenes with you guys. I'm sorry, I don't. We just met, like maybe after a couple drinks or something, maybe we can get to that point. But no, it's not
What
a
about
place.
off-stream?
Off stream, hey, I charge by the minute, man. But no, in all seriousness, no, that's not what the stream is here for. We're here to tell a story. Now, in terms of the dark future, something I do want to ask at this point, since it's been 2 people in a row, I at least want to put that question forward before we continue. In the dark future, sex sells. Okay, now I don't want to go into graphic detail of people having sex, no, but half-naked joy toys on the street, is it okay if I have some I have wiggle room to at least describe
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
people
mostly
doing that kind of.
that's the big one.
What
I
is
couldn't
it?
actually hear you. You went off mic there for the important part.
You beeped yourself.
It's mostly like sexual violence. Like if we're talking
Okay.
and that sort of
Okay.
thing.
No. Cool. No, that's if any situation like that comes up, you guys aren't going to be. It's either I am literally throwing the situation there very loosely for that, like, no, go stop that, go beat that person up, go make a friend.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not good. I don't want to ever put you guys in a situation where, because you are the heroes of your own story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But noted, I'm not going to. That is as requested.
To that point, I have nothing wrong with sex or anything sexual, as long as it's consensual. It is any sort of sexual violence that is the issue. And to the same point, I will probably end up making quite a few dirty jokes, but they are just suggestive and innuendo, stuff like that. And again, like none of that I have an issue with. Yeah.
Oh, I love dirty jokes. Those are among the funniest out there.
All seems fine with me, as long as We're respectful of each other and don't cross each other's boundaries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Classy and tasteful is the running thing we're going with here.
Well, my
Oh,
wife.
I'm in the wrong stream.
Sit down, you'll be fine. Trust me. Okay, that was, and we have Ashlyn. So
Nick.
Yeah, so my wife says I should avoid making those kind of jokes because she says they're neither tasteful nor
Classy.
well, that's it. Anyway, so yeah, no, I mean I started playing my second playthrough of the Cyberpunk video game. And I had forgotten how violent, how sexy, how just like fucking rad it is. And I mean, I really dig that, and I understand how like that's easier to do in a video game than it is at a table that you're sharing with a bunch of people. I definitely get that. I've been playing the RPG a lot, right? Like with a bunch of people at the table, and I definitely understand all that. But I do love some of those aspects of the world. But I guess I was saying I love the raddest aspects, and I want to see those things. But I also want to be very respectful. It's no fun taking away somebody else's fun at the table over something so small. So, you know, I intend to be very respectful. I don't think there's any lines and veils that we haven't covered. I intend to be respectful of anyone's, but mine would be pretty fucking out there, I think. So
that is that is 100% fair.
Unlikely to.
Yeah, fair enough. Don't get me wrong. I love the rad and violent aspects of Cyberpunk. In GM Ariana's play by post game, I managed to punch a guy's leg off. So you know, that's
that kind of thing is awesome.
Yeah.
So to caveat these points into the next thing, I would like to be able to tell the cyberpunk genre has a wide spectrum. If you want to go as far back as Neuromancer or start looking at any type of pop culture cyberpunk references, I think a lot of us are maybe a little, not to stay on the older side, but we're adults. Some of us are very adulty adults. Okay, let's pat ourselves on the back there. But I think we can handle a more adult story. And I know some of my fans who are actually tuning into this, and some of my family members would like to hear you guys go through a dark cyberpunk story I tell you guys. So that being said, we are using the Cyberpunk Red books as a reference point and framework for our story and setting. Any of the topics discussed here will be, if they come up in any way in the campaign setting, will be done tastefully in a way that if someone is getting hurt by a spouse or something like that, even one of you in the situation can be enough to make that difference and gain an ally, and even just kill that person, because quite frankly, that's not, you know, you have the option of that story. But that is a gray area as requested by the group, so we will kind of stay away from there. Other things, torture, violence, drug use, profanity, adult contact, and sexual situations, adult themes, and just general acts of the dark future is going to be one of the things you will all experience here, whether it be you're a player or a member, one of our viewing recipients. Please keep that in mind. This campaign will be intended for adults only.
Seems reasonable.
Of course.
Looks like the table I'd be looking for.
Fantastic. I am happy to hear that, guys. Does anyone need a quick refresher of what Cyberpunk Red in terms of the story setting is?
Quick confession, I am actually 3 6-year-olds in a trench coat, so...
Sorry. Got me there. Hold on. I think I need to... No, everyone's still working. That's great. So no, we're all comfortable with the Cyberpunk Red story setting roughly is. A couple things that is going to be unique to my world you might not experience. There is an intermediary police force between Night City PD and Max Tech. They are the Max Tech dogs that are trying to actually stop trafficking cases that are causing a major uptick in cyberpsychosis-related crimes.
Okay.
So
like Max Tech's trafficking task force.
Yes. Okay. It is actually private. It is run strictly off of the deeds they do, as corporations pay them for completed jobs. But the bulk of their revenue, 50%, does actually come from Raven Corp.
Okay.
One of our player characters is actually now Nick. Please correct me, but that's still part of your background as you're working for the Max Task, actual trafficking force.
Yeah, I think we decided to call them, or maybe you changed the name on them, but the ICTF, which I think was like Illegal Cyberware Trace Force.
Correct. That is 100% correct. That is something I want to keep in mind. Now, they are more of an independent, they are more like private inspectors. They have people they can rely upon and stuff. But in terms of your agency, Nick, as a heads up in advance, documentation is going to be the key, or else you're not going to get paid anything. Thus, reason why just about 90% of the entire workforce is corrupt.
So,
okay.
Yeah, you got to write it up right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Point number 2. Night City PD is not a unified force across Night City. Night City PD is only funded by the district they operate in, per the city council.
Okay.
That being said, if you've got a buddy who's got a decent position on, in Watson, you can go do all the crimes you want down in Little Chinatown, because if they come calling for you, sorry, he wasn't there.
So they are funded by those local, we'll call them neighborhood districts or whatever, as opposed to being, I think by 2077 they are publicly funded.
Correct.
In fact, they even on a stock ticker. Right?
Yes.
So,
currently, per the Red Core book, Night City, as a general, does not have the money to fund all that right now at this time period.
Right.
So some police forces are very corrupt or are just run by the major gang that runs that district. Some are, it's a very volunteer force, and everyone working there is paid off of thank yous, boo-boo kisses, and old still, Nico wafers.
And I imagine collecting local property taxes to some extent.
Correct, which is something that there isn't really in Cyberpunk world. You pay your rent and that's it. And a lot of the rest of that utility costs and things like that aren't there. I'm going to throw elaborate random costs for things because either districts trying to build money to take care of projects or actually, get clean water or make it so, you guys are stop having brownouts in the wintertime. I'm going to throw these things out there just to nickel and dime you guys any way I can of one of the many, many ways I do this to my players. So, but just a heads up in advance of like, why is the world like this? Let's talk about some of these things.
Bless you.
Thank you. What other important things to talk about? Okay, so some 3 big things, at least real quick for you on that front, Nick. Well, hold on. Some unique poser gangs you will deal with in Night City are the Jonesers. It's part of your guys' background. They pretty much wiped out 80% of the edgerunner group you guys shadowed under to become a full-fledged edgerunners. There's your mentors that helped you actually teach you some of those skills, your abilities, and things like that. Except maybe like Ty, because he is not local to Night City.
Yeah.
Okay.
You all do know each other though as a group. You've worked with each other in that edgerunner group. You guys and one NPC are the only people surviving at this point in time due to a booster gang / poser gang called the Jonesers. They are very much, if you've read the notes and if you missed it, that's fine. They are part of the Hockey Teenage Mutant League that actually formed out. They actually all body sculpted themselves at a famous actual hockey player named Casey Jones, who played in that league. And they like to use things like C6 plastic explosive hockey pucks, bladed hockey pucks, mono-bladed hockey pucks. They have specially designed actually bladed roller skates that they use to chase people down and get around. They are an absolute menace. And ever since about the second job you guys did, it's almost like someone is funding them to target your group specifically. So in terms of enemies, you guys already start with one, this group.
Right. I'm gonna make sure to write that on my sheet so I don't forget it.
Personality overclocking is one of the custom bits of cyberware going on. That and things like Chiron-based contacts. So you don't have to waste mod slots for Chiron, mods in your cyber eyes, but they are disposable tech, is what they are. A pair of contacts at best lasts a week before. Okay, it's the thing with them. You have to buy them regularly, which is the trade-off of not having to give up humanity or mod slots for the tech.
That's where they get you.
Correct.
Do you still need an internal agent?
Okay, no, you do not need an internal agent. You're required to have neural-aware, specifically because the neural-aware pairs with the device. Okay, the pairing is done through an agent. The agent does not have to be eternal.
Gotcha.
You could use a disposable agent and brick the agent afterwards, and it's fine. It's like, basically, for long story short, they're Bluetooth contacts that Bluetooth to your neural-aware. You just need an agent to do so.
And I hate to harp on this anymore, but I do. That is something I kind of play with a lot during combat, communicating with people during combat, and I probably will a lot as a lawman. So, what is the advantage of an internal agent then?
Okay.
Is there?
There is. There 100% is. Is anyone here, and I hate to reference very popular anime, but it's the best reference of it. Anybody seen Ghost in the Shell?
I've seen a little bit.
Okay, even just the basic anime movie.
Like I said, I've seen a little bit. I've seen like maybe 20 or so minutes of it.
Damn, I was really banking on that. So combat's a round is 3 seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
In Cyberpunk Red, unlike D&D where it's 10 seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
10 seconds you can talk a lot, say a lot, and do a lot of things. Cyberpunk Red, not so much. So in that 3-second combat, I expect you guys to only use, if you're speaking out loud, short, quick phrases. Okay.
Right.
Nothing complex. Now, an internal agent allows you guys to communicate in real time. An advanced communication feature for your internal agent allows you to have full conversations while ignoring the concept of time.
Right.
Wow. So I kind of do utilize that a fair amount. Not quite I've never played with this advanced.
No. That's
kind of homebrew, right, or whatever, something you're adding. But yeah, no, I do use the internal agent during combat a fair amount to communicate with people, or I like to know who also has internal agents so I can coordinate with them during combat. So yeah, awesome, cool.
Yeah, no, so
I think I might get one in the future just to be kind of part of the party.
Your internal agent
I don't have one.
And internal communication is being used 2 ways. One, like the crazy person walking and talking to themselves, that is one method. The second method is literally internal monologue conversation.
Right. Yeah.
You have to specify in advance, though.
And then if you
more
have
of an internal dialogue, really.
Text kind of thing. If you have the Chiron or the context, you could do text instead.
Correct.
Understood. Okay, I'm probably going contacts then, it sounds like. I like that.
Okay. It is a expensive commodity, so it costs 500 eddies a week. Now, assuming you can get actually equipment and stuff to actually make them last longer, but honestly, at the end, it still costs the same. Now, if you get a techie to help you with that and prove it, not to, but yes, it's room there for you to do that.
Yeah, 500 eddies a lot plus the versus the eye and the.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe we'll come around to that, but can we spend any of our starting cash on therapy?
It's assumed you guys have all had humanity therapy. All your humanity, that's
great.
Please assume you've had full humanity therapy. The only humanity loss I want you guys to have is the permanent humanity loss from your cyberware.
Yeah, so that's like 1 per piece, unless it's Borgware, right?
Double check the book notes on that real quick.
The maximum is 2 unless it is Borgware, and then it's
4. That sounds more accurate.
Gotcha.
Oh, yep, there we go. They're back. Cool.
Only just for like the what we slot into, right? So like a cyber eye or a cyber audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, fashion wear doesn't count towards that.
Correct. Right.
Does that answer your question, Ashton? Because you cut out there briefly.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Just want to confirm on that front. Now, you guys have had humanity therapy recently. I just would like your permanent humanity numbers there. Once that's configured, you're going to deduct basically 5 points because of the stressful last couple months because of losing practically your entire gang. However,
humanity.
yeah, it's a little bit because it's been a stressful time. However, that's a great caveat to get into character creation. First and foremost, you guys are not your standard low-ranking chooms, just to get chat caught up with you guys. So I am allowing them all 70 stat points for their actual stats, and then character creation option 3, so they can really customize their characters any which way they want. Their starting role ranks will be 5.
Great.
And I am now going to be pulling up each of your characters, taking a look. So if your character sheet starts moving around and you think it's possessed, it is. It's me.
All right. Well,
Okay.
based on my calculations, I'm at 55 humanity. I just don't see how to change that in here.
Okay.
To hit the edit button at the top right.
Yeah.
If the statistics little window, there's a edit button, like a little, what do you call it? A little pencil icon.
Yeah.
And then for some reason the box is labeled mods. That's what I'm not fully understanding.
Modify. That's for some reason they named it. Yeah. So in there.
That's where I stuck my -5.
Oh, okay. So you put that's what you're supposed to do, is put -5. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
No. Wait, that didn't work.
So your permanent humanity loss number, if you want to keep track of that, that's in your mod section. There.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get your humanity back, if that's what you're trying to do at the moment, just roll therapy.
Oh, okay.
Right.
It will restore your humanity.
Oh yeah, I just put it into the therapy.
So on mine, there's no mod section under empathy or luck.
Okay, give me just a second.
Yeah.
Because all right, start looking at next.
No,
that's why.
Yeah,
I know why you did that. Okay, cool. And it might be because you're still set up as an NPC, maybe.
That would explain it.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, you are. There we go. That'll fix that. I made a blank character sheet. I made all the changes I thought I needed. I saved it. I copied it. I renamed it. Obviously, that got missed. So now on your sheet, yep, it should actually have your actual humanity number. Let's see. Let's go take a look at your. And you don't have.
Here we go.
You don't have any cyberware or anything like that yet. So on your character sheet. So
I have a ton of cyberware.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong character sheet then.
I had a bunch of cyberware. It's all gone now.
Oh no.
Because the sheet changed. Gotcha.
I apologize.
Oh, no worries. I will get to work on this right away.
That's a good thing your character's already done, though, right? I mean,
yeah.
I'm just giving you practice, okay, to get really familiar with Roll20.
Yeah.
Man, you're so kind.
I'm a giver, okay. All right. Anybody else have that problem on their character sheets?
No, looks like mine.
For some reason, mine.
If I did.
I think mine is the proper character sheet, not the NPC sheet. But when I go to edit my stats, so it says my max humanity is 52. When I set it as 80 or as 8. That's when I was getting the stats going, and then I think it's down to 52 from my humanity loss from.
Because I don't think it's calculating a couple things correctly. Let's take a look real quick.
Yeah, I think it's calculating. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
So what it's doing is calculating your complete.
Right? So yeah,
it's
so
calculating
getting rid of the right max amount, right?
Yeah.
But when I look at it, it says my humanity is 3 out of 52, and that's what I don't get.
Okay, so your humanity number is your empathy number times 10. Okay.
Right.
So.
That I get, but I just Are you looking at my sheet? Because yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter that much. I'll make it work, but like my mods and my therapy are both 0, and my max is 52. The max says accurate, but then when I close it, it says humanity is 3, and that's just what I don't understand. I don't
Right.
know
And
where
it
that
also
number.
says your empathy is 0 at the moment too. So
Right,
it's
which is
obviously miscalculating something here.
yeah. Well, I won't
Yeah.
worry too much about it, but oops, sorry,
Stop
that's
it.
you.
Yeah, that's me. Your character sheet's possessed by God. Stop it.
Someone's rolling.
Yeah, it's okay too. I don't think we need to like harp on it too much. We'll make it work.
Yeah, no, today and absolutely no. Getting it afterwards figured out, yeah, but that's actually very easy to edit and change. Um, Noted. Okay, start double checking everybody's stats real quick. 8, 8. That's what we're trying to do. All right, Jackson, we're looking at. You're pretty smart. You got a good dex. You're not real tech savvy. You're cool. Will and luck. You got your movement, and that's because of your frame. That's why you don't really need any points in your body. But you have all the necessary cyberware for that. 6. Your remaining number is also wrong, but the rest of your stuff looks pretty good. Okay, cool. And you understand that we will be using actual tabletop maps. Your move number is important, Nick.
Yeah. My move is 6, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
I am fine with that move.
Okay, now you have an empathy of that's good to go there. Your stats look fine. Mr. Not a Number, the cousin of Jaffo. But
That's me.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30,
I think
35.
I'm good. Fingers crossed. Yeah, while you're looking at that, I'm the tech in the group, so kind of the inspiration for the character, very loose inspiration. Yeah, and now I can't remember his name, even though I know it. In the newer Star Wars, I was watching them recently. And by the newer, I mean like the 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who's like the Finn meets
Pofin?
him?
Oh, you're
Or the Finn,
talking.
no, Finn like goes and finds him. I think in like the second to last movie or something, and like he's like
Yeah.
he's played by Benicio del Toro, and he like he's a tech guy, and he like really good at getting into places, and
they
they
go get him from
basically
Canto Bright. Yeah.
what?
They get him from Canto Bright, right? The casino place. Am I crazy about that?
Yes, they do, and they're like looking for him, and then they basically break into the Sith or the First Order ship,
Yeah.
and it's cool as hell. And I was like, that was really cool. I want to be able to. I want to be a character like that. So that's kind of like my idea for the characters. Like really good at electronic security tech, getting into places, and it's just kind of like has like uses all of these like inventions and stuff to break into places
I
Vertex.
like it.
and out in my case, because I was recently jailed.
Nice.
In and out. Always
Yes.
important.
Yes.
Left,
And
movement, body, empathy. Ty, my man. Johnny's in the danger zone. I love it.
What?
Oh, you're still. I know. No, never mind. I had a moment. I got numbers backwards. I saw the 2 and I saw the 6. For some reason, I'm like, he's only got an empathy of 2. Yes.
No, I've tried to keep it relatively high. Being a rocker boy, it seems pretty
Oh no.
useful.
Oh yeah, that you're cool. Definitely.
Yeah.
you want to be?
Intelligence is really a rocker boy's dumb stat. That's the one you don't really need.
Yeah.
I think that is maybe my lowest.
But it's tied with your tech. Still not bad. You got a
Yep.
good movement. You're lucky, which any rocker boy should have a certain amount of luck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sort of a musical rocker boy. So hopefully the
You
tech
still
won't let
keeping
me
you still keeping your initial character idea of what kind of rocker boy?
Yes, yeah.
Awesome.
What kind of rocker boy are you?
They would know you, so by all means, floor is yours.
Sure. So I'm playing character called Johnny Fox. If we're going for inspiration, just consider any Guy Ritchie film made, Lock, Stock, Snatch, any of the classics.
Perfect. Yeah.
Has recently come over from London and is more sort of cult leader slash low level politician, but just really trying to make a difference and here for the chaos and just living the Night City life before his exploits in London catch up with him.
Oh, that's just outstanding. I love it.
That's great.
Yeah, which is hilarious because in my other campaign, I have a rocker boy who he's not a musician rocker boy. He is a televangelist rocker boy. So he does. Oh yeah, and it was just I'm letting them all play supervillains. It's very much a short campaign, so I could test high level campaign setting rules with
Yeah.
pretty powerful chooms. So I was like, no, go nuts, guys. My plan is no matter what, as Mike Pondsmith said, I'm the guy who's going to kill your characters. So we're playtesting that, and oh yeah, it's Rocker Boys. Any Rocker Boy class can be great, but seeing them utilize their skills outside of the standard musician aspect makes such an entertaining characters.
Yeah.
Also, as a side note, if anybody knows where the name Johnny Fox is from, I will love you forever. But it's quite British, so I'm expecting not.
Unfortunately, no.
Not off the top of my head, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay, it's fine.
Unfortunately, I'm a bit too far removed from my British heritage.
It's totally fine.
It does appear everybody's got their stats in correctly, so thank you guys for that. Good job. If you have any questions
incorrectly, and I was like, what?
You got them all in correctly. Yeah.
Correctly, cool.
Yeah. You've done it all correctly. I apologize in advance, especially for you as the proper British person. I really hope I don't piss you off with my horrible American speak.
I mean, every time I look up armor in this game, I'm like, apparently there's nothing here for that. Okay, cool. Oh, you are. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah, we are at time. I know we do have time constraints this session because we really can't go any later due to other people, but we are about at that halfway point of the time we have. Does anybody need a 5-10 minute break real quick? Use the restroom, stretch their legs, stop the dog from eating something?
I would love a bit of a stretch break.
Okay.
Just family just got home, so I should probably go look at them for a bit.
Okay, I am going to put 10 minutes on the clock for us. But Mike's
said it, I have to go check where the dog is.
But Mike's will stay hot during that time. Everyone in chat, thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. If you have any questions, though, about the campaign or anything in general that we haven't covered, please throw it in the chat. I'll be more than happy to take a look at it as soon as I'm back. Yes, our mics are hot. I have a wireless headset, so I can get around and do things. But yes, we are voice wise, we are still live. You can only carry so many. Nice. Is everybody back? Oh, that's good
Back.
to hear.
Ooh.
Yeah.
As no, you guys were not on the mic. I did not have your sound settings properly configured on that overlay. So now we are all properly back, and your mics are now should now be working correctly now.
Excellent.
So no.
Does that mean that we're gonna have to start this session 0 all over again because we didn't been recording? Or
Oh no,
I think you can hear us.
yeah. No,
okay, good stuff.
on that
People
overlay.
were reacting to what we were saying, so I assume
Okay.
Yeah.
we were good.
No, on that overlay setting, it still picks up my mic, but it's not picking up the audio channel you guys are all coming into my computer on. So they're only hearing me talk to nothing. So I will have that fixed before next session. Thank you guys for the feedback. Terribly sorry for that. Okay.
Oh, no
I
worries.
wish I'd known that.
Yeah, if I would have said something, it would have just came across as me talking to nothing, and so
That
sorry.
could have been fun.
Okay, with the time we have left, one of the things I would like to do is give you guys each your 5 minutes to shine to talk about your character, ask the DM any questions, maybe talk about your background or stuff, and maybe just give chat, our viewers, and those who will be listening later that taste of what you're playing. So real quick with that, and it looks like you guys all have stats and stuff and everything squared away, so we'll do it with cool checks. Unlike sadly with D&D, when you can just press that stat and get a roll. No, you're gonna have to actually do a D10 plus that number for me.
That's fine.
But that way, the cooler you are, the better chance you have for shine.
Oh, as we know, I am very cool.
Hey, look at that.
I don't know why that's a D20. Ignore that.
I was gonna say a great roll there.
Oh yeah, ooh, yeah, that is.
Now, did these cool checks explode?
Yes.
Awesome.
Might not need to bother though. If none of us, you might not need to bother rolling that extra die.
Oh, poor Johnny.
Oh, you do.
We're gonna see how far I can take this.
They don't keep exploding per the rules.
Oh, Vertex is going.
Yeah, that was a 2020 thing that I promise you, I will let slip more than once. I played a lot of 2020, so like skill chips is a great example. I'm going to play skill chips differently, only because I really disagree with skill chips, and that will be another homebrew thing in this campaign, just like Chiron contacts. Homebrew, strictly a me thing, so chat doesn't get confused. This will be one of many unique things to my world. But cool, we got cool checks from people.
Talking about skill chips actually being a little underpowered in 2070s or Red.
I would like to play them with a high humanity cost, but none of the humanity cost is permanent. Thus the
okay. So when you're using the chip, it drains the humanity, but then when you take it out, you get it right back.
Okay, that is one way I could do it, but no, like, okay, let's say you buy a skill chip for heavy weapons. Great.
Right.
The humanity cost on it is going to be, I'm going to throw out a hypothetical number at the moment. Okay.
Yeah.
Humanity loss is 16. Okay. Now, if I spend time working with the chip and actually trying to get my body and, muscle memory and things like that used to the skill chip, this number will go down, and humanity therapy will take care of the rest. Now I can swap that in and out as I see fit now, because I've taken the chance to basically, and I hate to use the word, but you've attuned to it. You've gotten used to the physical load of the chip.
Yeah.
Now, that will let you guys do some things. It's a little power gamey. Yes, there's 5 of you, and most of you guys, I'm going to guess, have a lot of good role-playing skills you guys want to use. So if it helps you guys fill in gaps as a team, by all means do it. So, but anywho,
that's very interesting. I'll have to I have to put some thought into that. Yeah.
I will, in a lot of DMing sense, I will apologize. I will give you guys the benefit of the doubt if I can find a way from a 2020 or just cyberpunk genre idea of how this could have still carried through to Red. The afterthought is the afterthought, because even in Red as a core book right now, where are the full body conversion chromes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That kind of thing in the world makes a difference, because the person looks human. You pick a fight with them, not realizing they're full chrome, an actual
Right.
just a brain in a box, and they rip your arm out of your socket.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to be able to tell Cyberpunk World. So that's one of those. We'll play it fast and loose.
Yeah.
Anyway, who got the highest cool check, please?
I believe that was
That would be me.
By all means, the floor is yours.
Okay. So first, just a question. So dice exploding multiple times. That was a holdover from 2020. So to be clear, dice only explode once.
Typically,
you
by the
roll a
rules,
10.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All
Now-
right. Just wanted to make that clear.
Yes, that
Either
is.
way, though, you definitely still won.
I've seen
Okay,
Mike.
yeah.
I've seen Mike
Yeah.
Pondsmith play that fast and loose as well,
Right.
and that's probably
Right.
just because it's too set in his stone.
Yeah.
To me, either way, if you want to keep rolling, go ahead. I used to play Middle Earth role playing.
Right.
Open-ended rules were open-ended and never stopped being open-ended until you didn't meet the qualifications.
Yeah.
Do it. It's not going to make a 29 or a 33 versus a 73 isn't really going to make a huge difference in the result, to be honest.
Right.
Right.
That's fair enough.
Okay.
1 over or 30 over, you win.
Mathematically, that's going to be rarely ever come up as a significant factor.
Yes.
But I've seen him playing this game. So
All right. I just wanted to make sure I had to get that straight in my brain before I went and mucked things up.
Yep. Cool.
But yes. So the as I mentioned before, I will be playing Vertex in this game. They are very much a kind of an odd duck. They're they have a very slender frame, kind of that they got really heavy into like body sculpting during their high school years, and just kind of never gave up on it. So they have they have a very low like body fat kind of content. They're not very thick, but instead what they have is they've got a lot of like body sculpted muscle. That's kind of why they wear the crop top that they wear. They like to say, "I paid good money for the 6-pack. I might as well show it off, right?"
Absolutely.
So yeah, they have a bit of revealing style, kind of like that Urban Flash, but like not a little more emphasis on the flash, you know. They like to show off a bit. They wear these like very tight black pleather pants. So like, you know, not like real leather, you know, can't afford that stuff.
Of course not.
But definitely like plastic leather. You know, the fake stuff. Fake it till you make it. That's how we do.
Great.
I apologize for the
And-
camera mess up, guys. We lost Ashlyn for a moment. We'll get that resolved here shortly.
Oh yeah, no
I will
worries.
do my best to get that resolved for all you guys in chat. Please be as
I'm
descriptive.
Ashlyn for a second.
Yeah, please be as descriptive as possible with what your characters look like as best that you guys can at this moment, just so
Yeah, for sure.
people in podcasts, Spotify, things like that can get as much of a mind's eye for your character as possible.
Yeah. But yeah. They also wear their what's the word? Their lab coat. They have kind of like a medical intern's lab coat. So they have sort of that look to them. They think it gives them an air of kind of like authority as a medical practitioner. I don't know what's going on with my screen. Occasionally I'm getting blinks on here.
Roll 20.
That's sorry. It's just an issue, not an issue. I'll
Okay.
address that later. Anyway, so yeah. As for kind of just like their general like kind of the head region, they keep their hair very short, and they have it kind of like swept kind of back and up, so you kind of get the whole forehead deal. They are blonde, but they've dyed the kind of the front and the top part of their hair blue and pink respectively. So they just kind of walk around as a kind of a living pansexual pride flag.
Love it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I really like the look.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
And besides that, they're they're kind of vague in their features, like not like they've got kind of like a slim face, not a very big nose. They're just kind of chilling. Hello, Ashlyn.
Oh, yeah, Raven, I think you might need to refresh our
I am
feed or
working
something.
on that
Yeah.
now, my friend.
Sorry, y'all.
No,
Oh, it's
you're
all good.
good.
You're now
This is what
precariously
settings.
balanced on my laptop that's not turning on.
Ah, excellent.
It really is like a laptop to just do that on a
Yeah.
stream like this.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
Thank you for the timely recovery. Good job. Seriously.
Yeah, no worries.
Hey,
All
we're all in
right.
the right places too. That's lovely.
All right. Next up, we have.
I think that would be me.
Okay. Please be as descriptive as possible.
Absolutely. So you want kind of like a character description and sort of a character background, just to be
Yep.
clear?
This is your chance.
Awesome. Okay. So my character is named Nan, Nan. Um, she's sort of an androgynous looking person, like kind of haircut. Style's very important in Cyberpunk Red, but
Yeah.
Nan hasn't really gotten the message. So any like style perks that she has might be completely by accident. Um, and she's a tech, so she wears really just like practical clothing, kind of like your typical mechanic jumpsuit,
Yeah.
a tool belt, a grenade bandolier, and when she's fighting, when she's or potentially going into a dangerous situation, she'll have a bandolier and a couple of arrow quivers. Um, and you never see her without like at least a tool in her hand or something, or her
All
tool
right.
hand like open with a tool coming out. Um, she's got a nose ring and kind of like heavy boots, and electric
Yeah.
safety boots, so not getting electrified. And yeah, I mean, in terms of look, she's kind of on the shorter side, kind of unassuming. Like my concept is that like you wouldn't really pay her any attention if you just like walked by her in the street. Um,
She's not trying to
but
stand out. They're not trying to stand out at
Mm,
all.
yeah, exactly. She's not even trying to she's not even trying to be sort of like quote unquote fit in either. She doesn't really think about that stuff, She's just
Functionality first.
yeah, exactly. Focused on the build and and the tech and uh the upgrades and that kind of thing, and
Um,
and along those lines she just has like an incredible eye for that sort of thing. Anything tech related, she'll just like jump in.
if I could interject for a second,
Yeah, please.
but kind of just based on how you've been describing Nan, have you played the Outer Worlds?
The Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
No, I've played Outer
No?
Wilds.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so just based on your description, Nan is giving me huge Parvati vibes from the Outer Worlds. I'll drop a picture in the chat later on just so you can get a look of who I'm thinking. But
Good character.
Oh,
yeah, good character. I very much like her.
yeah,
Very
I
good
just looked
character.
up an image. Yeah, we can go with that. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she's got like tan skin, like I said, hair kind of to the shoulders. She does definitely wear like, safety goggles that cover up her cyber eyes that have like the micro optics so she can really like see deeply into like the circuit boards and the shit she's looking into.
Yeah.
And then just a little bit of backstory on her. So Nan has been running with this crew for a little bit, resident techie, and sort of recently on a job went wrong. She was put into prison, and uh, it was quite a harrowing experience for her. Sort of naively, they gave or well, yeah, the prison gave her the option of like, okay, you spend your 4 years in prison, or you can be enrolled in the brain dance program, spend only a few months in prison, but it feels like 4 years. And that is what she opted for, sort of naively, not thinking, oh, I'll be out in just a few months. But that was actually an incredibly harrowing experience for her. It was torture day in and day out for what felt like years and years and years. And since being out, that's sort of when she acquired her name, or decided on her name, was just in the prison. Besides the brain dance, she maybe had 30 minutes to an hour a day of not being in that state, very possibly. And during the whole time, she was just a number. She was just being treated like a number. And so she adopted the name Nan, because it stands for not a number.
I like that.
Thanks. Yeah, so that's just kind of the basic backstory, and without getting too deep into it. But that's pretty much who she is.
Yeah.
Now she's out of prison, doesn't have a ton of money to her name, but is ready to change that real soon.
Awesome. Let's see who we got up next. Do.
I was a 16. You're gonna have to deal with me rolling physical dice
Hey,
while
hey.
I cannot access anything.
Yes, if I need you to roll anything, either I have to accept the fact you use meat-based dice, which I'm trying to avoid, or I can just roll for you and roll 20 by accessing your sheet as well.
Cool, great, because I can't access my sheet because even the one that I'd made before was digital.
And this is why I like having my paper backup.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't printed it yet. I usually do.
I wish this was easy to print. Is there an easy way to print this that we'll talk about that.
Out of Roll20? No. It would be easier to build it in something else, sadly enough. And
I did a paper sheet in the actual red and white looking one.
Yeah.
Oh, the form fillable PDF.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, those are good.
17. Nick's got it. Yeah, so Vertec went. So yeah, Ashlyn, you're up. Tell us about Luca? How do you
Lucia Veritas.
Lucia. Okay.
Love that name.
Very good name.
So Lucia is a media. She is an investigative journalist, particularly specializing in corporate and political stories. Anything that she's released on Scream Sheets is in particular calling out corruption, calling out the misuses of power. She has been in particular focusing on a singular story, and every high-ranking official that had a dealing with a family known as the Torres family. She keeps a lot of her own background to herself. The way she carries herself, you can tell that she's educated, but she doesn't really appear on any sort of graduation records or things that would indicate, oh, here's my diploma from XY school. She seems to be a bit of a ghost in terms of looking at where she's from. But she very much is an educated woman, dresses pretty plainly, usually in blacks, and it very much contrasts her bright blue asymmetrical bob haircut. It is like neon blue. I have a wig. I will be wearing it.
Nice.
Oh, you think I ain't showing up here every month in full cosplay? That's adorable. I will draw all over myself with eyeliner. And she very much, all of her tech is specifically so that she is constantly listening and recording. She has a singular cyber eye on the right that is also paired with her cyber audio suite. There are bits of that visible. She has a kind of a metallic cyber extension right on the side of her eye that helps connect both the cyber eye to her cyber audio, and also interacts with her internal agent. Everything that she has brought into her body is for one purpose. Overall, her personality she's friendly. She is very much I'm going to get to know you. I'm good at talking to people. But she's also, if you screw her over, she's going to bring you down because she's going to find everything about you and find your dirty secrets. And that's going to show up in some scream sheet somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether published under her name or not,
right.
she will remember.
Oh, that's so awesome. You're almost like scary. You're a very scary person to come across.
Mm-hmm. And she's very outwardly friendly. Like, just she's not a bitch.
You're the type of person. Oh, sorry. I was just saying, like, you're the type of character that, like, even if somebody kills you, like, you can continue to screw them over from beyond the grave. Like.
Oh yeah, the 20 memory chips that I spent all of my money on are filled with incriminating shit about so many people.
Right. Like, that is truly terrifying.
Like, I have advanced hearing so that I can hear your secrets from further away.
Ash, Ashley, I will add this to your character sheet. I'm going, just because I love the concept of your character so much, I will give you a storage device that we can work out in some way with you, whether you want like a Rockland chair, like, you know, cyber chair with a bunch of external storage devices built into it or something like that. I will build you a safe place for you to store all your information you collect on people. I can't wait. That sounds like an amazing character. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been particularly working with our resident rocker boy. There are very particular politicians that I want to see burn. And, you know, if they happen to leave some seats vacant in a power vacuum, I can't think of anyone who would be better fit.
I mean, you know, it's going to cost a lot of money to get into that kind of, you know, industry and stuff. But I mean, organized crime, the mafia has been backing politicians for years. So
yeah,
it's a bread and butter kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, if we have the organized bad guys backing politicians, why not have the organized good guys?
Exactly.
Everyone's got to play dirty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that it on, is that anything, you know, was that it on Ashlyn? On Lucia?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Next up then, under the 17, we have 15, I believe.
Did Jalen already go?
I think Jalen already, Jalen already went because that was part of the exploding, so.
Yeah.
Then I would be next.
Wonderful.
So I'm playing Jackson Jenkins, JJ. He is a lawman, and he is sort of a recently up-and-coming lawman who's been very successful as part of a new kind of division of the NCPD. He is kind of heads up their illegal cyberware trace task force. And they make it's they got to bring in the money a little bit, just like some police departments have to bring in the money via ticketing and different things like that. They're bringing in the cyberware to sell off, and but Jenkins is kind of trying to keep up with some of the movers, corporate movers, those people kind of climbing that corporate ladder. He is this kind of led him down the road of a little bit of corruption. Stealing first started out as a little bit of going into people's pockets, stealing here and there. Maybe not reporting every bit of cyberware they find or all the cash. We got enough cyberware, we got enough weapons, we'll keep the cash ourselves, that kind of thing. But it's ballooned into full out organized crime or taking people down based on, what they know, what they have, things like that. So he's kind of turned his whole division into a pretty corrupt organization at this point. He was a pretty scrawny kid, actually, so scrawny that his parents got him installed with a muscle and bone lace when he get him to be a little bit taller. He probably he probably would have grown to only be about 5'5" or 5'6", but he definitely didn't have that short king energy. So he was kind of maybe a little bit insecure when he was young, and in his young teenage years, his parents got him installed with a muscle and bone lace to kind of bring up his height to about just under 6 feet by the time he was fully grown. Later, kind of when he was going through his early police training as just a basic NCPD officer, he really didn't enjoy getting his ass kicked. He was actually kind of a wimp. So at that point, he borrowed some money and he went out and he got himself installed with a massive linear frame and started doing some martial arts training because he knew with the kind of close quarters, taking these zones with these cyberware enhanced people, it's a lot of close combat, a lot of melee combat. So he got himself installed with a linear frame so he can kind of keep up with the people he's fighting against.
The immersive sound design you've got going there.
Yeah, I that outside my window, eh?
I should have prepared some specific sound effects for my description.
Anyway, yeah. So I mean, Jenkins kind of has what I call the cop cut, which is basically shaved at the side down to a 1 trimmer length, but no real fading or anything like that. His hair would probably look okay if he ever bothered to kind of swoop it over, but it's just sort of usually sticking forward. He's a plainclothes police officer most of the time, but he does have a habit of wearing his flak jacket around even underneath his light jacket kind of thing. That it says police across the chest, like it just says police. You can rip that off if needed. It's just on there, Velcro. But he's always kind of almost like hanging off of it. The guy's got a huge ego. He acts like he sort of owns Night City the way he walks around. So he's, no one can really touch him. He has been successful. He is good at his job. He finds the shit. But he also has all these other problems. He is a family man. He has a wife and a daughter who he loves and adores. Everything there is pretty much perfect, except for the fact that he's paying for everything with stolen money at this point, basically. Which
I
has
have
led
a
him.
Question for you when you have a second.
I was just about to wrap up and say it basically led him to this life of edge running. So, go ahead.
I was curious, how do you think your character fits into? Because unless I'm wrong, our group is kind of like the rest of us are kind of like a group, right? Like we're kind of like an edge running group. So how does the lawman, who's like a part of this other association, how do you see yourself fitting into into our edge running group? Not that would be hard. I'm just curious.
What first started as criminal informants became friends, became associates, became fellow edge runners, or whatever the GM thinks.
Cool. Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. Yeah, it's not like you're just in your cop world. You end up dealing with the people on the streets all the time.
Well, if anyone really took a hard look at his finances, not that anyone really does that very often in Night City,
Someone might.
he would probably be way out what he would be bringing in well, maybe our media might, but
right.
yeah, but often if you're not a huge politician or you're not a big corpo, you can get away with this kind of stuff. But maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe that's even something, maybe that's how we know each other. Maybe she found out and she has something over on me and she's got me doing these jobs helping you. Or else she's going to reveal some of this financial inconsistencies about my nice apartment and how much I spend in my wife's Philip
most likely
today. Charity organizations that she participates in, things like that. That might be an in for how we're related or how we're connected. And what do you think?
Oh, I guarantee I have sheets on all of you.
Love it.
I'm good with that. It's very organic. It's the group works with each other because secretly behind the scenes, Lucia and Johnny have pretty much manipulated everyone into that you're going to work with us because of like an extortion kind of angle. Hey, if it works, guys. Just
I can definitely see that Johnny would want to cop in the party. Yeah, just to keep things moving. For sure.
It's not blackmail. It's collateral friendship.
Yeah.
and speaking of which, let's hear about Johnny.
Nice. So, building off the back of what Lucia, our absolutely deadly media, has been saying, I will be playing Johnny Fox, our charismatic punk politico, fresh from the streets of London. Recently sailed over with a bunch of sea nomads to escape a rather dubious past in just running the streets of London and just getting up to all sorts of debauchery, to be perfectly honest. Very outgoing, very friendly to pretty much everyone, and honest to a fault, just because he doesn't really care about you. So it doesn't matter if you know everything about him, which has helped him in the scene of politics a reasonable bit. People are just not used to seeing honesty on that level, I think. And so we'll not hide the fact that he drinks excessively and just goes out gunning in the night and has a bit of fun. And so hated by probably most other politicians and anybody with a bit of power. He is pretty sure at some point he will be assassinated. But he's down to have as much fun as possible before that happens. And that is pretty much what he's about, just having fun, living fast, and doing and genuinely helping as many people in Night City as he can before he is inevitably taken out.
And don't worry, when you do get taken out, I'll make sure it's like a full martyrdom.
Yeah. That's what he's about.
Legacy
He's building that
continues.
martyrdom. Yeah. He's absolutely there for it. Doing as much to help out with the martyrdom before he goes. He has a pretty awesome style, very, very stylish character. It's a cross of like high fashion and bohemian with a very sort of a lot of like nautical influence, but his one true staple is that he has both hands are chromed gold.
Nice.
It's like cyberware. And he's a little bit of a gunslinger, so he actually has a Malorian 3516.
Iconic gun. Iconic.
Absolutely iconic. That is the only thing he's a little stum about is where he I'm really sorry if you can hear the dog. Is the where he got that from, but it came with him from London. It's about as much as anybody knows. Other than that, always up for a good drink, always up for a good fight, and always up for getting the truth out. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums him up.
So to clarify one thing about your background, obviously your local expert is not going to be for Night City. If you want any Night City local expert skill, you're going to have to buy that yourself.
Yeah, no, he's pretty fresh to Night City.
That being said, with a person's agent, if you're willing to make the library search check, even in areas about the city you know nothing about, if you can beat a successful DV check with your library search, you can pull up basically a enough bonus to get a check's worth of local expert out of an area. It just takes time.
He's pretty outgoing, so more than doing a library search, he's probably more likely just to rely on people that he knows for that information. He's much more likely to hit somebody up and be like, hey, tell me about this, than he is to just hit up a library search,
Yeah. And you are here kind of as an ambassador, correct, from London to try to make some job stuff happen with this actual specific mafioso group in a way.
That's true. The way he got his ride over is basically coming over as an ambassador for an organized crime group in London, and so he's tied in with the mob that way. Just having to do a bit of work while he's here, but yeah.
Who's not tied in with the mob, in this economy?
Especially in the position, it kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Is that it for Johnny?
Yeah. Double checking. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything for now. He's got more things, but nothing too major.
No, that's fine. But we save some for when we have a full-time allotment next session. Real quick, another rule I want to ask you guys about real quick, since we have chat here. The +2s and -2s we will eventually get from chat. I want all -2s, and this is my suggestion. It's up to you guys. I would like -2s to be directed at God and my enemies, and +2s used for you guys.
Fair enough.
Can you
minus.
Explain what those are.
So chat actually generates points in Twitch. When they spend points, they can actually give you guys bonus or cause events to happen automatically in the game, as you see right. If you have Twitch open, you would see that. Stormbreaker Games gives you a +2, -2. Okay, automatically, I would use that on that -2 on my enemies, and that +2 would be for you guys to use. Now, the other caveat to this would be the bucket resets every session.
Okay.
So we're not going into a session with, you already have a bank of 16 +2s. Because if you have 16 +2s in my world, I'm not making you guys roll enough.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not making the difficulties hard enough.
Yeah.
So we are, just to be clear, we're your enemies, right?
Okay, yes. Okay, I will make the world challenging. More often than not, yes, you guys are going to have friends. Okay, Mickey the Mouth, who actually is your fixer contact for the Mafia, who you're getting your first mission from.
Oh, I love that name. Mickey
Okay, and to clarify him real quick, he's your stereotypical short, angry Italian. Okay, he likes his fine suits. He actually loves his pinstripe suits. Instead of having white pinstripes, they're neon pinstripes with an underglow in his suit. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, he's got a mouth. He loves his wingtip shoes, though. Absolutely, quickest way to piss this guy off would be to scuff his shoes. You can insult his mother's cooking all you want. You mess with the shoes. That's it. It's over. But Mickey's actually runs a very small pizzeria style place. It's built under what used to be Night City Precinct District 2. And part of that space, they set up concrete walls, and there's a kind of underground eatery there that actually serves 60% synthetic meat made with 50 to 60% actual real meat. It's a limited.
Taco Bell today.
Okay, yes, but in terms of a place actually selling real meat with pizza or meatballs and stuff, it's
luxury.
And they don't sell it at a luxury price. He's the type of guy who would walk around the neighborhood and people would give him stuff for free. And but the mob literally owns. Make sure you guys are on the right map here later, real quick. Yeah, the mob. If you look at close this and close this, and I'm going to center your guys's. Sorry, Ashlyn. Okay, number 6 here, right underneath US 16 and roll 20. Okay, number 6 and pretty much the district underneath it. That's really the area that used to be Little Italy back in the 2020 day. Yeah, that's going to be the people. So it is partly in the old city center. I typically that should center.
Red 6. I was looking at black 6. My bad.
Yep. So that kind of little area there, you got to think it's still a little bit in the hot zone. You're going to get people from Maelstrom coming over. The Teutonton's actually nightclub is just down the street. That's going to have a lot of impact in the neighborhood. So the very much mafioso side try to keep their streets and stuff really, really clean, and very much try to keep. The further you go south, the more it's kind of lost to the old city center, but they're still trying on it. Yeah. That's going to be your kind of main central first kind of contact and point of place. Just a caveat, because we're talking about with that. He's going to be an ally, but like the problems and people you're coming across, like if I'm not once per session making you guys almost fearful or slightly worried or giving you guys an adrenaline rush because of what's going on, I don't think I'll be doing my job as a DM, and that's my goal. So, to answer, that's why I want chat to have the ability to they need an extra helping hand. The +2s aren't enough. Let chat throw -2s at me. Make that named villain weaker to give you guys the advantage.
Okay, so -2s actually go again. -2s actually go against. They're basically all positive.
Yeah.
For us.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
I misunderstood.
Yes.
Okay.
That's fun. I like that.
Okay. Because the only time a -2 to your roll as a player would benefit you is with death saves.
Death saves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And if we're at that point, like. Okay.
No, I mean,
We know minus
I
and
usually
pluses for
sit in
death
on
saves.
games though and only give -2s trying to kill off players. I just find that fun as a chat.
I
usually go in and do that in other when I know the people who are playing, like I play with them in other games and I know they're streaming, I'll go in and I'll throw -2s at them trying to kill their character. That's like fun.
I will not need any assistance with that. I have a tech level called Corpo that corporations try to keep off the streets. These are more accurate types of like auto fire based weapons that will shoot more accurately, more reliably, and thus consistently do more damage. Now they were
shaking.
Yeah,
my character's already looking for cover.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's like I want, and it's not to be mean to you guys. I just want the world to feel real and exotic and give you guys that, oh shit, and maybe really think of something creative, or maybe work with chat and get one up on me. Please do it.
Yeah.
So sounds like we covered base. Is there anything you guys want to ask me, or else I would like to actually give the proper first mission intro before we sadly have to call it, because I don't want to keep tied too much later due to.
Oh, let's do it. Let's get that
Okay.
intro. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, a friend of yours, part of your edge running group, one of the, she's not really a runner, she's more of a dancer, and you could almost even think of her as the type of like, she's just really there to hang out with you guys. She likes the excitement. Yeah, she's, she works as a joy toy, she works as a dancer, but she's generally a friend of you guys. I did put forth that the edge running group does have an actual base that you guys can live in. It's an old mechanics place on the actually southeastern side of town in the Haywood district. The rent's absolutely fucking atrocious though. But it used to be an old booster gang's hideout until the Edge Runner group took it over and turned it into their kind of base of operations and started to act like the initial kind of lawmen of that area, which the district was fine with.
Yeah.
However, times have been tough. Most of your group, your mentors got wiped out completely, and that put a very kind of strain on you guys. You've been partying, drinking, just generally living off the excess funds left over from 15 shrooms that died. That's a lot of money hidden underneath, the mattress. That's a lot of extra goods lying around. You can live easy street for a little while.
Yeah.
But the money's running dry. Rent's past due, and next month's due just around the corner. You guys need money fast. Linda, who we're going to name the Joy Toy friend of yours, works for Mickey. Does dancing upstairs in the actual club that Night CDPD District 2 got turned into. She even does some, working the tables, everything downstairs at Mickey's Pizzeria. He genuinely needs somebody not inside the family to take care of a job. And she specifically let Johnny, that he's tired of getting messages, so this is your chance to prove we can do business together. Quote, end quote, is what Mickey said. Well, there's a lot more fucking bullshit, goddammit, son of a bitch, keep calling me every god. But I don't think you want to hear that part of that. The campaign, session 1, will start with your guys' third night, actually, the pizzeria, waiting. Asked to come over the first night, and they food and drinks on the house. And they fed you like an old Italian grandmother would feed her grandkids. You hungry? No. 2 slices of pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks. What's the cost? No, I didn't, I didn't like the way they turned out. I can't serve them customers. Eat it. Here's just something to drink.
Right.
Okay. And it was very much
just give the man his pizza with no Coke.
Absolutely correct. So it was very much one of those, the first night, very much that relationship. Now, as a note, the main cook at this pizzeria is he's bigger than 2.5 linear frames, except apparently he's organic. He's the type of person they have to slaughter a couch just to make a pair of pants for. He's a big dago. Okay, doesn't talk though. But he's that type of person who's very empathic. He can look at you, see you sitting there by himself, puts forward a pizza, sub sandwich, maybe a little stromboli, baked ziti. There was never not food sitting in front of you. If you ate all your food, more food showed up.
Right.
They didn't charge you though, which was kind of weird. Same thing happened the second night. You even got to do some light security though second night, meet some more of the staff and stuff, see how the camera, but you were just sitting there waiting. Anytime you ask, like, he's busy, give him a minute, give him a minute. And there, no matter what you did, there's no way to push the issue all night. But the drinks kept coming, so if you're getting fed for food and drink for free, who cares, right?
Yeah.
Food ain't bad either. I mean, it's real meat.
Real meat.
And I mean, to be brutally honest,
Mostly.
Yeah, mostly. The only person probably paying for this good of a lifestyle, from what I've seen, is Johnny. To be honest.
Yeah.
Johnny or Jenkins?
Truth. However, the third day, first times come by sundown. The amphitheater is actually pretty close to where you guys, and there's actually an actual concert going on the third day. So they tell you to come by early. It's actually about noonish to tell you, hey, get over here. No more waiting. Your paperwork's done.
Bless you.
Sorry.
And that's how I would like to start session 1 with you guys. But
okay,
how have you decided to take care of transport? Or does Johnny need to call a fan to drive you guys around?
I have a bike, so I can pedal my way over there.
Would I possibly have a cop car of some sort, or could I?
Yes.
I still have I still potentially have starting money. I basically gave myself 13,000 rather than the 15 to start with, or something. Could I rent a car? I still have money from that still too. So, or would I have a police car potentially, or anything like that?
You can have a police car, but you have to decide now whether it be for edge running purposes or family purposes.
Edge running purposes, I suppose.
Okay, I mean, you could technically use it for both. Okay, if you have a vehicle big enough for the edge runners, it's not like you can't take your kid and your wife around in it. Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like with the kind of cop he is. It would be unmarked, so he could he's he could be staking places out and things like that without being in a cop car. So it would just be like a standard sedan type deal. It wouldn't be like an NCPD car.
Oh
It
yeah,
would
no.
just be like that. I mean, cars are more common in this world than they are in the time of Red a little bit, right? But it would just be kind of a standard, kind of like what V drives at the start of the game, like whatever the 45 version of an Archer is, or something like that.
You can do that, yeah. My only concern is because of how big you are, because you have the linear frame and stuff too. You need something a little bit more built for a person of your size, and then you want to be able to comfortably support the other three, the rest of the group as well.
I hadn't considered my body size as part of that, but that's a very good point.
I'll hop on the back of Vertex. Can I hop on the back of your bike?
There's still public transit. That does work.
Seat, but I have the money. I could do it.
One thing Jenkins is also always doing is underneath this kind of like flak jacket thing and some of his police wear, he's always wearing like jerseys, kind of like sports jerseys, like for the Rangers and the Heat and stuff like that. Just like local teams, just to kind of another grungy character aspect of his.
We'll say, for the purpose of story purposes, if anyone has black chrome, thank you, Artel Saurian, by the way. Something like the Grundy. It's an unmarked, probably easily usable, probably something you guys got off of a salvage or a group of gang. Hypothetically, it was something that was probably used for trafficking that your department took possession of.
What page is that on? You got it open in front of you.
68.
Okay. All right. Yeah, maybe something like that.
I mean,
Yeah, that makes sense. It's got to carry me.
It'd carry you. You could still use it around the city. Okay. You could even do side work in it in one way or another. and it would get more than enough of the group around, and in terms of like cargo or bringing back things from a job or things like that.
And I'd be fine with not really like owning it. Like obviously I don't own it myself. It's sort of like a part of it's like, you know, I might have to even return it to a parking garage at the end of the night and not take it home kind of thing even.
So
something like that.
Here's the well no, you could, any damages the vehicle occurs, you pay for out of pocket.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Unless you can prove, and this becomes the kind of corrupt nature of how payroll works, unless you can truly prove 3 different ways, camera coverage, you know, that was all done truly on the job damage. If not, it comes out of your pocket.
Yeah.
I understand all that.
Make sure you've got your body cam on.
Correct.
Lucia definitely, it almost exclusively is public transport.
Okay.
Because how else are you going to find interesting little rumors and tidbits?
Right.
Did you actually get any friends on your rolls, or are you quote unquote friendless?
I have 2 friends that I had set. So I'm trying to remember my sheet.
I could pull it up real quick. It was a curiosity question to you. I do like the randomness of that table, but sometimes with characters, especially unique characters like yours, it would make sense they would have a list of like, well, you know, contacts, friends, business acquaintances.
I anticipate she probably does. I didn't build out the friends very well. I have one from her childhood, and then she doesn't communicate with. She just keeps an eye out to avoid.
Hello for the Raiders. We are actually just finishing up session 0 just to get you guys squared away at what's going on. I'm trying to find a good wrapping up point here shortly, just so, you know, due to time constraints with players, but I do recognize you all and want to say hello, thank you, and welcome.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hello,
Lucia probably
Raiders.
has a few good contacts that we can work out offline as well. I need to build out who she knows. She
Okay.
definitely also has a list of enemies.
All right. So
Growing by the day.
we're gonna get to
fixer roll a little bit there.
let's get our homework assignments squared away so we can do outro and let, you know, let our rocker boy catch some Z's. All right. So by next session, if we can get everything you guys need for your characters, because there will be combat on session 1, I promise you that. We can get that squared away between now and next session. That's great. NPC allies will need to get squared away. I will share with you all a Excel Google Drive to use for group notes.
Lovely.
That is one of my assignments to get everything to take care of. If there's anything you guys would like to change, character concept ideas and everything, after the stream ends, we have 2 weeks. Is the time I'm giving you guys. After 2 weeks, I'm assuming this is set in gold-plated platinum and being sent to the moon.
Sounds good.
All right, so end of the month on the dot, really.
Yes, 100% correct. If I need to get Jalen's NPCs as well from him breaking out of prison, because there's a couple good contacts and stuff you're going to want there as well. Nick, I would like to give you some people in your department, regular people you can go to and utilize. To say they're friends is kind of an understatement. You know, it's not really the correct thing, but I would like to at least give you a couple different people to utilize for your background. Your background can, your role rank back up.
Yeah. Yeah, we did discuss some of those, but we'll review them again before the next, or make sure that they're consistent with any changes, because we've been talking about this for a while.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I think I do have a few details on I almost called him Everett because I play an Everett in another game, on Jenkins, about just kind of does have a couple of friends that won't be very beneficial narratively or anything like that, but just add some character detail to his back life and whatnot. So I'll make sure I have all that into his character, just in case. But it's just sort of more like, oh, he's friends with some of these corporate movers who have much higher paying jobs, and that kind of keeps him wanting to move up and things like that. It's not, not real NPCs you would use in like combat or something,
Correct.
Yeah.
Also, please keep in mind for the campaign, you can use your backup in advance. If you know you guys are going to be going to raid a place and need some extra help, you can call them in. You don't have to call them in when the shit's too bad. Okay. Just as a fun heads up. I would also like to give you one or two ones that work utilized there that may be more colorful characters than what the book would allow. So we'll need to get that squared away in 2 weeks for you guys. Is there anything you guys will need from me before next session that I haven't covered?
I don't think so. If so, I'll definitely let you know between now and then, but nothing I can think of now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a very specific enemy or nemesis? Or any, because I don't really have one for my character that I wrote. I guess you, yeah.
Very specific.
Exactly the same. Yeah. Because I just agreed to help you with yours.
Yeah, that's true. You covered that in both your character introductions. So sorry.
Is it a bad guy, or can you truly actually call it a villain?
I mean, Lucia would call them villains.
Okay, then I will need to sit down with you to understand what kind of villain you would like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fill me in on that because I've agreed to go after the same person, like in character. So yeah.
Well, I'll make a group chat for the three of us.
Awesome.
I'll have some words with you about Vertex's backstory as well.
Yes, I do want to create that with since we will need to be working on and creating that together. Yes.
Yeah, I would like Jenkins to maybe have an NCPD, like a more legitimate NCPD foil. Yeah, that's something too. Like maybe somebody kind of came up with that stayed more legitimate or has made some sacrifices to stay more honest.
Chief.
And maybe not even a chief, maybe just somebody who works in homicide or something like that, or somebody who has to investigate some of what we're doing and might cause
it out for you.
Yeah.
I've left a lot of my backstory behind in London, and I'm obviously not sure how much you want to pull over, but potentially that's up to you.
The biggest part of your backstory I would like to address in this campaign is one, your connection with the White Sails, because that's just I would love to be able to do some kind of actual on the seas missionary, multi-part mission kind of thing, because I think that would be really good from a story enjoyment perspective. But the other thing, and I don't.
Are we talking the Ivory Sails?
Yes, the Ivory Sails. Yes, I'm sorry.
Ivory Sails. That's okay.
And the other thing is your family's connection to the orbital lifts.
Okay. Yep.
Because after all, you are being hunted by a corporation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine.
Wonderful then.
Wow, this was a lot of fun.
Well,
Right.
Let me give you guys your couple minutes to do your outros real quick, and then I can stop recording and answer all questions and get things squared away. Well, by all means, give me your final roll for today. Let's see how well your guys' initiatives work.
God.
Oh,
Roll for me.
I already got you.
Cool.
12. Not bad. 15. Johnny. Ooh, nice. Johnny.
20.
Okay.
To mine, but I should be at a +2 there. I should have modded that in. But...
Johnny, it's yours.
Technically, mine would be an extra 1 because I'm definitely on synth coke right now.
It's yours, Johnny.
What am I doing here?
It's your goodbye. So I can stop streaming, so you can get some sleep and. Yeah.
Oh, you're a darling. Thank you, everyone that has joined us for chat, and I'm super excited about this, and I'm looking forward to getting into character and playing with all of you lovely people that have been here, and putting on a little show for you guys in chat. I think it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun and super chaotic. I'll see you next month.
Wonderful. So we got next, I believe it's JJ. Nick?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm Nick. I'm going to be playing JJ in this campaign, and I can't wait to actually dive in and throw some dice and get started. Sorry, my cat's harassing me. You can't see him on the camera because he's black, but he's well in my way. Thank you to the chat who comes out to us all the time. I see a lot of the same people that are in the other games I play in, or that I see coming out to other Cybernation Uncensored Red games. Appreciated. Those that catch up on YouTube, appreciated. Thank you. I really can't wait to dive into this campaign. This looks like maybe the table I've actually been looking for in terms of like a little of the ultra violence and actually challenging gameplay. Yeah. So I'm in terms of like, it sounds like the GM has some nasty plans for our character ahead, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of that. And I also just looking forward to playing with a bunch of my new chooms here. So I'm really excited for next month, and thanks to all the chooms in the chat and everyone who came out today.
Yeah, 100% agree. Just a little outro reminder. I'm Jalen. I'm gonna be playing our techie Nan in this game, and to echo what everyone said, I just can't wait. It's been a blast just this session 0. I can't wait to actually start rolling dice. And what I'm really excited for is just like building everybody's crazy ideas as the tech. Like, oh, you got something cool you want to do? Don't worry, I got you. So yeah, thanks to all the people that watched, and we'll see you next time for sure.
Lucia, Ashlyn, you're up.
Sorry, my audio keeps cutting in and out because I'm on a phone now. So I'm excited to be fully on a computer next time, hopefully for the full time. Discord doesn't like me. And I'm really excited to play Cyberpunk for the first time. Like, all of these folks have played this system before. Like, y'all are gonna have to bear with me the first, like, few sessions as I learn how this system works. I'm entirely a 5e girl. I'm very, very new to the whole cyberpunk sort of game, and I'm really excited to play. And to, be terrifying in a non-explosive sort of way.
Or in an explosive sort of way,
It's a different kind of explosion. It's a quieter one. Or louder.
Headlines are going to blow up. For sure.
Last and most certainly not least, Vertec.
Well, a great bard once said, "All the world's a stage. I can't wait to set it on fire with you." This has been Catapult Crash Tester. I'm very excited to play this game with you all. And thank you to everybody who came out to the Twitch chat. This is the largest stream that I've ever performed on. So, yeah. If you want to give me a follow, it's Catapult Crash Tester on Twitch. It spells like it sounds. And, yeah, beyond that, I'm looking forward to our next game.
At least one person remembered to plug themselves. Well done, man.
Hey, I've followed everybody else, and y'all know how long my plug is. Too much shit.
I am GN OckRaven. You can always find me at OckRaven Gaming at Instagram.com. I will have the social overlays working much better next time, so sorry about that today. I will be the Global Operations Director, or otherwise known as these characters' gods for this setting. I'm very happy you guys can all come here and join us, and I really hope you follow us here on the third Sunday of next month and come back and see what I have in store for these characters. I promise you will not want to miss it. A special shout out to everyone at Cybernation Uncensored. Please check out, they have numerous things on the YouTubes. Please go take a look at them. A big thank you to everyone. They've been a huge help with chat and even just getting us to this point. And a special shout out actually to our overlays. Wookie did an amazing job, and I just want to give him a special thank you for the time he spent with this. Lastly, I hope you all remember to take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. Check out the schedule for the next time Cybernation Uncensored is doing something. But until then, you have a great day. And that will be end of line from us. Thank you.